All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, March 6th, and we got 6 games on the NBA slate. We're going to jump into each and every game like we always do. I'll give you my lean, we'll talk about the game, but all my final plays will be updated in the pinned comment on this video throughout the day. If you guys want to jump on my back and ride with me, or if you do want to fade me, feel free, guys. Those plays will be in the pinned comment. We're coming off of a 2-1 night, so we're staying profitable. The loss that killed me, the loss that prevented the sweep, was me betting on the Spurs. I guess I'm kind of owed that one. Like, I'm owed that loss. That was absolutely crazy for me to think that this Spurs team was worth backing. They were playing the Rockets, which we bet on the Rockets the night before, so I just thought, you know, somehow it would work out. Nope, that was our only loss of the night, and it was a damn stupid one. But other than that, we did hit the teaser of the Thunder and the Suns, and then we also had the over in the Jazz and the Thunder game there. So we did end up positive on the night again, a 2-1 night. We will take the profit, but I'm just knocking myself for betting on the Spurs. I'm knocking myself for betting on the dang Spurs. But let's jump into today's slate, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. We are racing towards 20,000 subscribers. I gotta plan some sort of giveaway at 20K because you guys have absolutely been crushing it, guys. Make sure to smash that like button. I think we had 500 likes on yesterday's video. Still kind of blowing my mind that you guys are doing that. You psychos out there. But let's see if we can yet again keep the streak going and break 200 likes on today's video. Smash that like button, guys. Let's jump into the first game here. We have the Cavs taking on the Celtics. Cavs 6-point favorites at home. Total sitting at 218.5 right now. Obviously, they just played a couple nights ago. We had the over in that game. It did cash. Celtics won this one 117-113. The time prior there, Cleveland won 114-113. And the time prior to that, Cleveland won 132-123. So right now, the season series, Cavs 2, Celtics 1 here. Celtics coming off of a tough, honestly, as a Celtics fan, demoralizing loss last night against the Knicks here. Cleveland coming off of an easy win against Detroit a couple nights back. In terms of injury updates, no Rob Williams, he's out indefinitely. Then we have Malcolm Brogdon questionable in tonight's game. Donovan Mitchell is probable in tonight's game. On the Cleveland side of things, he left last game, so keep an eye on the on the injury report here to see if he is a go. But nonetheless, I do think that this is a game that's going to go back and forth. I think that the Celtics, obviously on the back-to-back, you're giving them 6 points. I do think it's worth maybe sprinkling a little bit on the Celtics. So yes, I may be biased, but I do think there's not going to be many chances you can get the Celtics as +6 dogs on the season. So I'm going to lean towards the Celtics here, but the play that I actually like in this game is the over. Now, I know that the last few times these two teams have played, this total has been sort of low. Like, I believe they've had only, I think it's 220 and under on their totals on the season, and they keep going over. Now, 2 of those games, if I'm not mistaken, have gone to overtime, so that is worth noting, but I still think that both these teams can contribute and score at least 110 plus tonight, meaning this one's going to go over. I like the over in this game. That's probably my favorite lean in this game. Keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if that ultimately becomes a final play here. Moving on, we got Portland taking on the Trailblazers. We got Detroit taking on the Trailblazers here. Pistons 6.5-point dogs at home. Total sitting at 230 right now. These two teams played in early January. Portland won that game 135-106, excuse me. In their last 10 games here, though, Portland struggling 4-6 against spread in their last 10, and on the road 1-3 in their last 4 games on the road, where you have Detroit 3-1 in the last 4 games against the spread at home here. Now, they have tons of injuries to note. I'm probably going to get tired going through it, but we'll just go through it here. Bojan Bogdanovic is out. Magruder questionable. Wiseman questionable. Isaiah Stewart out. Killian Hayes questionable. Jalen Duren out. Alex Burks probable. Cade Cunningham, as we know, is out for season. No major injury updates for Portland right now. I am going to lean Detroit, though. I don't think this game becomes a final play. You guys know when I tell you if I think a game is trash or not. I think this is going to be a trash game. I don't totally love it here. So I'm probably going to pump this game away, but I'm just going to lean Detroit. It's a decent amount of points to give a team at home. Now, no one and their grandmother is playing in this game. Apparently, a bunch of questionable, a bunch of outs for Detroit. So trust me when I say I'm leaning Detroit. I don't think that I end up pulling the trigger on this one. I do not mind the under, though. The under right now, total right now, sitting at 230. I could see this one getting pretty sloppy and sticking in the 220. So I'm going to lean towards the under. Moving on, we get the Pacers taking on the Sixers. Pacers 6-point dogs at home right now. Total 2 233. I think I've seen 234 on a couple sportsbooks, so it's probably moving in that direction. They played in early January. Philly, as 5-point favorites, won this game by 3 points, so they did not cover, but they did win the game 129 to 126. Here in their last 10, Philly playing pretty good basketball. 7-3 against the spread, 4-2 at home, but 3-1 on the road in their last 4 within that 10-game stretch. Indiana here, 6-4 against the spread, but not doing it as well at home, which they are tonight. 2-2 in their last 4 games at home here. I do think that this is going to be a type of game that Philly says, you know what, you're just not that type of team. You're not going to compete with us. That being said, I don't want to contradict myself, but 6 points is a lot to give an Indiana team that has shown that they can compete with almost everybody. So I think the Sixers are going to come out and say, okay, let's handle this Pacers team. But by the end of the game, I don't foresee the Sixers being up by, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. I think this Indiana team can kind of stick with them. So as crazy as it is, I don't know if it's worth the psycho alert drop, right? But I do think that the Pacers can keep this game close here. They're coming off of a cover against Chicago. They won against Chicago, right, last night. So I do think that they kind of have a little steam. Halliburton's not in the injury report. He's been in the injury report the last few games. Hopefully the Pacers do, have kind of what it takes to keep this game close. I think the Philly wins because they say, hey, you're not on our level. This is our game to win. But 6 points is a lot to ask for. So I'm going to lean towards the Pacers here plus the 6 points. In terms of the total, 233, that is way up there. But I think I'm going to slightly lean towards the over. I think that this Pacers team can up the pace and kind of force Philly to get the points being scored out there. So I am going to lean towards the over in this game as well. Moving on, we got the Heat taking on the Hawks. Heat, 3-point favorites at home. Total sitting at 229 right now. In their last game here, they played just a couple nights back. Miami won 117 to 109. They were 2.5-point favorites. They clearly covered that one with ease. In their last 10 games, Miami's still struggling. 1-3 against the spread at home. 1-4 in their last 5 against the spread. But the Hawks are on the road. And what do we call them on the road? The Atlanta Pigeons. They're 0-3 in their last 3 games on the road. I have to back the Miami Heat here. Their injury report is actually whittled down than what it has been. There's only 3 guys on the injury report. Kevin Love upgraded to Pro Bowl, and then Kyle Lowry is out, and then Jovic, whatever his name is, still out there. So I'm going to lean towards Miami in this one. I do think that they have somewhat of a better team when it comes to being able to, I guess, grind a team down and play good defense. If I see Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo both playing, it makes me back the Heat a lot more. If those guys are on the injury report, it obviously makes it tough. So I'm going to lean towards Miami. And then I also do like the under 229 in this ball game. Moving on, we got Nuggets taking on the Raptors here. Nuggets 6-point favorites at home, total 229 right now. Last time these two teams played, we have not played this season. The last time they played was March of last season. Toronto won 127-115. Now, being it was last year, I don't think we put too much weight into that. I think we can put a little bit more weight into the last 10 games of each team. Denver 8-2 against spread in their last 10. In their last 4, they have not lost when it comes to against the spread at home here. And on the road, Toronto not playing that well. 1-3 against the spread on the road. I am going to lean towards Denver here. No major injury updates. No, Thomas Bryant is questionable here. And Denver coming off of 3 straight wins, 3 straight covers. Now, not the biggest of competition, but what I will say, 4 points favorites against the Clippers here. They win by 10. 12-point favorites against Houston. They win by like 20, right? Memphis, 6-point favorites. That was a couple nights back. Obviously, there's a lot going on with Memphis, but they win that game by 16 points or so. This Denver team seems like they're just really out of a lot of teams' league right now, including Toronto. So I'm leaning Denver here, minus the 6 points. In terms of the total, I don't think this goes way over, but I could see this getting up into the low 230. So by default, I am going to lean towards the over here. Last game on the slate, we have the Kings taking on the Pels. Kings 5.5-point favorites, total at 238 right now. These two teams played in early February, and New Orleans actually blew out the Kings 136-104, and the Kings were 2-point favorites in that game, so that's gotta sit pretty poorly with them. The Kings 5-5 against spread in their last 10. New Orleans 4-6 against the spread. They're 1-5 in their last 6 games against spread. Compared to the Kings, last 6 games, they're playing pretty well, 4-2 against spread. Jonas Valanciunas is questionable. Josh Richardson is out. Zion obviously still out. Alvaro out, and then Larry Nance Jr. out here. Only injury update to note for the Kings is De'Aaron Fox is questionable with a hammy, so keep an eye on the injury report if you are going to be betting Sacramento, which I do think is the play here. I think that they are the better team, especially at home right now. 5.5 points, decent amount to give, I'll admit that, but I do still like Sacramento in this one. And I also like the under, especially if we have some key players out on either side. I think they can slow the pace down. De'Aaron Fox doesn't play. I think this game definitely goes under. He's a pace starter. He's a firecracker out there. One of the fastest guys in the league, especially with the ball. So if he is out, I think this game does look like a pretty good under spot. But that's what the lean's going to be. Sacramento and the under, guys. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. We got a lot of stuff coming up, guys. A lot of opportunities being presented to us as of late, so I cannot thank you guys enough. But yeah, very excited for this slate. Make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment for the final plays, and let's hit that like button. We'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace out.